What should you really get from a Japanese supermarket? Hey guys, welcome to my channel Tokyo Foodie Sarah, where you can explore Japan with a Japanese local. In today's video, let me introduce you to some of the things you can get at the Japanese supermarket. These can be for souvenirs or for you to cook Japanese food at home. I made sure that these products are non-refrigerated products that are not too bulky and not too heavy. Also, I didn't include any snacks because that can be a video on its own. If you want me to cover snacks from Japanese supermarkets, do let me know in the comments. I do have quite a bit of products to cover today, so I divided the sections into food category, seasoning category, drinks category, and others, so that it's easier to follow the timestamps on YouTube. Right, let's start off with the food category. The instant curry packages. Yes, you know Japanese curry, I don't need to explain that. But in supermarkets, you can get these pre-packaged and pre-made curry, which you can just warm up in the microwave. And usually it says kare on the packaging. I'm sure you can use the camera function of Google Translate when you're at the shop. But if it has a picture of a microwave at the front or either at the back on like how to make it, that usually indicates that it's just a microwavable curry. And yeah, this one's like the classic one. It's the kareya curry house curry. And yeah, this one in green, you can get it at medium spiciness, and the one in red is like spicy. So this one's 180 grams for one person. So I guess you can't buy too much of this, but you can get a few packs for yourself or as a souvenir. What I like as much as curry is hayashi rice. It's also like a Japanese type of, kind of like the consistency is very similar to curry, but it's made from caramelized onions and tomatoes. So it does have a different flavor to curry, and I also love this thing. So this one I bought, it's a ginza hayashi. You can also find the ginza curry version of this, but yeah, this one you can also heat it up in the microwave, or you can boil the packaging for 5 minutes. This one's the same, 3 to 5 minutes. You can boil it in water, hot water. Okay, so that's like the classic you can get. And another great food product you can get is something donburi. So this one is oyakodon, which is chicken thigh cooked in egg. So it looks like that. Oyakodon is like a dish on its own. This one, I've already used this, but it's like this. And this one you can heat it up in boiling water for 3 to 5 minutes, and you just put it on warm rice and it makes donburi, oyakodon. Yeah, this one I think they had gyudon as well, which is like the beef rice ball. You could also heat it up in the microwave if you remove the inside from the packaging, because you can't heat this up in the microwave. It just makes a meal on its own and it's great. Okay, next up, soba noodles. I really love soba noodles, and you can just get the dried noodles at the supermarket. This one's a bit special because it says towari soba or juwari soba, which means they use 100% of buckwheat flour. So usually with a lot of the soba, it's like 50% buckwheat, 50% flour, or like 80% buckwheat and 20% flour. These are just made from buckwheat, so the flavor is stronger and is more fragrant. You can obviously get the normal soba as well. This one is 200 grams, and usually per serving is like 100 grams of the dried noodles. This one makes 2 servings. And I love cold soba, so what you do is that you boil this for whatever minutes the packaging tells you. So for this one it's a bit rare, but you boil it for 6 minutes and let it sit for 2 minutes. Okay, interesting. But then yeah, so you do that and then you rinse it with cold water and have it with cold dashi sauce. It makes a great summer lunch. Next up, I feel like Italians are gonna hate me for this, but these are the seasonings for making Japanese pasta. This one is sea urchin, and this one is mentaiko, spicy pollock roe. So this one is like super handy. You boil 100 grams of pasta, and then you just directly add the sauce into the pasta without even like heating up the sauce. So let me show you the uni one, sea urchin one. So inside you get 2 servings. Well, 2 of 1 servings, if that makes sense. Yeah, you get uni sauce, which looks like this. It's like watery, and then you also get the topping, which is the cut up seaweed. So what you do is that you mix this sauce with pasta and then put this seaweed on top of pasta, and it just makes a Japanese style pasta. How easy is that? And yeah, because these are like separate, you can make it for 2 people or just 1 person, and then you can have it twice. Okay, next up, let's go to the seasonings category. First up, dashi. You need to have dashi if you're trying to make Japanese food. Dashi is used in everything. So basically it's just fish broth, but these are like kind of like in pellets. These are easy. You can just add these powders to boiling water to just make dashi. They can be a base of your miso soup or Japanese stew or just anything. Dashi, I would highly recommend you to get it in Japan, but usually dashi is also used with soy sauce, but soy sauce I'm sure you can just get it from an Asian market where you live, because soy sauce is heavy and you can probably get that in a lot of other countries. It can also be Chinese soy sauce, there's not that much difference. So yeah, dashi. So you can find this packaging, or you can find the ones which you refill into these glasses. So if you're traveling with a small luggage, I would recommend you to get these like refill ones and then just, you know, bring that home and put it in the glass jar you have at home, because that's lighter. And then we get on to tubed condiments. So this one is sour plum paste, and this one is yuzu kosho, which is like spicy yuzu pepper. So these, when you open these, it just looks like that, and it's filled with sour plum sauce. Oh, let me actually get the other types that I already have at home. So at home I already have the aoji salt, which is like perilla leaf, and there's also ginger, and there's also a big one of garlic. There's also garlic with this size, but I use it a lot, so that's why I have the big one. Oh yeah, there's also wasabi and stuff, and some of these they have English description on the packaging, so it's easy for you to understand which one you're getting. Garlic and ginger, we usually use it in a lot of stew. Shiso perilla leaf and plum, sour plum. These are great to go with like any sort of meat or veggies like cucumber. Like cucumber and the plum sauce is like a classic izakaya dish. With plum sauce, you can also have it with rice. It's usually used in a lot of onigiri rice bowls, or something like, you know, chicken. That would also be nice. The yuzu pepper, these are great. So you can put these, the best thing is probably like putting it on grilled chicken thigh. That's really, really good. Also as a seasoning to put in your hot pot, that's also great. Yeah, or with like, you know, seafood like bonito. That's how we use it. Okay, next up is the moromi miso. It's not your average miso, it's made from miso and barley. So you can see the barley bits at the bottom, and with normal miso, like the paste miso, you use it in like miso soup or any sort of like miso flavored stew, that kind of thing. But this one, you normally use it on its own and put it on something else. So for example, it's exactly as shown in this photo. With cucumber, it is amazing. So there's an interesting story to this. When I was giving a tour to a customer, I took them to a local izakaya, right? And I ordered this dish called morokyu, which is a very popular izakaya dish. Moro is the moromi miso's moro, right? And kyu is kyuri, which means cucumber in Japanese. So it's just like, you know, raw cucumber with moromi miso on top. And the customers loved moromi miso because it was their first time having it. And so they were asking me what it's made out of and where they can get them. So yeah, I recommended this to them. You can get it at a supermarket or at a basement of a department store. Yeah, these are amazing. Usually, yeah, it's best to have it with cucumbers, but also like tomatoes would work. And if you just put this on rice, it's also amazing. Dangerously amazing. And then we have something interesting again. Furikake. So furikake are the seasonings you put on rice. And this one's the classic brand we have. It's noritama. Nori is seaweed and tama stands for tamago, which means egg. And look at this cute family of chicken and chicks. So Japanese kids grow up with this. These are just like powdered seasoning, and you literally just put it on rice and eat it. It's amazing. I'm saying this is really interesting because when I was working with this person in Amsterdam, he's a big fan of Japanese culture. He used to live in Japan for years when he was very small, and he remembered having noritama. When I was visiting Amsterdam from Japan, he messaged me personally saying, "Oh, can you get me a few packs of noritama?" And so I got him 4 packs of these, and there's also like the assortment. They have like different flavors, like sukiyaki flavor, and there was this like Pikachu design assorted flavor sort of thing, so I gave him that as well, and he really loved it. And he was saying he finished this whole pack over like the weekend with his family. Yeah, a bit of an interesting story on my side. So yeah, noritama is a classic one, and there are also other brands and other flavors, and so I thought it would be interesting to introduce you to this, which is the otona no furikake. Otona means adult, so only adults can have this. No, I'm kidding. It just means that the ingredients are more premium. So this one I got is the bonito flavor, and these bonito flakes are more like not substantial, but I would say these are like more crunchy and has more of the original shape to it. These ones are like slightly more premium compared to these like powdered ones. I like both of them. They're good in their own unique way. Okay, lastly on the seasoning category, we have the shio kombu. Shio kombu just means salty seaweed. And yeah, these are like small bits of seaweed with a bit of like, you know, umami salt on it. As you can see here on the picture, it's great to go with rice. What I like is to marinate this with cabbage, like raw cabbage. That's also a classic izakaya food. Also, again, cucumber goes great. Tomatoes. So if you just sprinkle these on bland ingredients, it becomes very interesting and very flavorful. Another interesting example I have is when I had some Japanese ice cream last time, they gave us a bit of shio kombu at the side to kind of like cleanse your palate in between. That was a very interesting way to use it. I always have this in my pantry, always. If you're finding this video useful so far, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. This would allow YouTube to know that you're enjoying my videos, and it would really support me to continue making videos like this. Okay, let's get on to the drinks section. We have matcha powder. We all know matcha, and I'm sure you can get it in a lot of other countries, but I believe the quality isn't as good, and they are pretty expensive. I would highly suggest you get it in Japan if you're a matcha lover. Even if you just get it at a supermarket, it's like very cheap, and the quality is actually pretty okay as well. So this one is by Itoen, which is like a very large tea manufacturer in Japan, and this one's the Uji matcha from Kyoto. You can just like make normal matcha, or you can make matcha latte, or you know, use it in baking. This one's only 30 grams, but you can find bigger packaging. And if you're looking for like even better quality matcha powder, then I would suggest you find something at the department store. Usually at the basement of a department store, they have like a whole food section. So yeah, definitely take a look at it there. After matcha, we have green tea. So this one again, oh, it's Itoen again, not surprising. Yeah, you can find tea bags of green tea. This one's the premium tea bag I have, so there's Uji matcha inside the green tea leaves. I always wondered this, and if you know the answer to it, I would love to know. But in Japan, when you brew like green tea, usually on the packaging it says like, you know, brew it for like 30 seconds and then shake it afterwards and take the tea bag out. Usually it's like, you know, 20-30 seconds in Japan, whereas if you get green tea overseas, they usually tell you to brew it for like 3 minutes, which is like the same as black tea. I don't know if there are like different types of green tea, or Japanese people prefer it to drink it without too much like bitterness. I don't know. If anyone knows, let me know. And then we have something super local, mugicha. I'm sorry it looks like this at my house. I will try to find the packaging and put it up on the screen, but this is because usually mugicha has like 50 bags in one packaging, and that's a bit too much, so I shared it with my mom, and that's why I only have this much. No, actually maybe she bought something with like 100 bags. That's why I got this much. But anyway, mugicha are barley tea, and we drink it a lot in the summer. So they look like this. It's like packaged like that, and you would just put this in a liter of cold water and brew it in cold water. As I'm filming this, let me remove my microphone. Oh my god, it's like dripping so much, but I have been drinking mugicha whilst I was filming. Usually you brew it for like 2 hours and then just take out the tea bag. Yeah, and it would look like this. And it's like super refreshing in the summer. It's non-caffeine, so you can drink it in the morning or at night. It's amazing. I love mugicha. And yeah, these are like super light. You can see that there's this much, but it's not that heavy. Definitely recommend mugicha. I believe you can't really get this overseas. Okay, next one. I'm not sure if you would call this a drink, but it's oshiruko, which means red bean paste soup. If you're a lover of red bean paste, you're probably gonna love oshiruko. This one I bought, it has bits of red beans inside as well, so it gives it the texture. These are like, let me show you. So it's like you'll see like a cube inside this packaging, and what you do is that you would put this in a cup or like a bowl, and it says add 100 ml of hot water into it, and then it makes a warm oshiruko. When you have like pieces of dango inside this, it's like, oh, such a comforting drink or like snack in the winter. In the summer, it says on the packaging, it says you can also make it with cold water or milk. I've never done milk, but cold oshiruko in the summer is like amazing. It's like slightly sweet and like very nutty and amazing. Okay, some something similar and also by the same brand, I think. This one was Morinaga. It's a confectionery company, and this one's also by Morinaga. But this one is amazake. Amazake, I've made a whole video on what it is, but basically it's just like a byproduct of when you make sake. Yeah, and it's like kind of ricey, slightly sweet. It tastes a bit like makgeolli, which is a Korean rice drink, but without that much alcohol. Yeah, there's like bits of rice inside, it says. Also the same, it's got like a cube inside, and you would add hot water or cold water into it. Yeah, these are amazing. Because amazake consists mainly of glucose, it gives you a great source of energy. Usually like 30 minutes before I go to the gym, I would like drink this to fuel myself. So that's one good way of using amazake. Lastly, let's get on to the other category because I didn't know how to categorize them. You should definitely get miso soup. These are called instant miso soup. This is a very big packaging with like 24 inside, but you can find like smaller packaging. And normally you would have like a pack of miso base, which is like the miso and dashi inside. So you would like squeeze this out into a soup bowl, and then so this one they have like different flavors of deep fried tofu, seaweed tofu, and leek. You pick a flavor of choice. This one's the deep fried tofu. So you would open this into the soup bowl and then pour some hot water into it. And it easily makes miso soup. Even if you have just white rice and a piece of fish, after you have miso soup and make some, I don't know, spinach saute or something in sesame, it makes a traditional Japanese breakfast. Yay! Usually the packaged miso soup doesn't have too much seaweed inside, and I like it when my miso soup has a lot of seaweed inside. So I would buy wakame separately. It's dried seaweed. These are amazing because this one's only like 30 grams, but when you put it in water or like hot water, it becomes like 10 times the volume. So yeah, you can just like put a bit of a sprinkle into the miso soup. Yeah, you would have more seaweed in your miso soup. You can also use this for cooking. What wakame seaweeds are usually used for is vinegar marinade. So with cold water, if you put wakame into the cold water, you can just like leave it for 4 to 5 minutes and it makes a, you know, fresh seaweed. If you want to make a marinade, marinate it with vinegar and a bit of soy sauce and sugar, and it becomes traditional Japanese side dish. Yeah, these are really handy because it's like super small to fit in your luggage. So these were all the products I wanted to show you today. If you have troubles finding these products in a supermarket, you can find the staff and say something something wa doko ni arimasu ka? And you can just replace that with the product you're looking for. So for example, if you're looking for furikake, you can say furikake wa doko desu ka? And hopefully the staff will be able to direct you to where the product is. Alternatively, you can always show the picture of a product and ask the staff for where it is. Okay, that's it for the video today. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it that thumbs up and subscribe to see more future videos about Japanese foods and culture. Bye! Hello everyone! So the main topic of this video was lightweight, easy to make, and long-lasting Japanese products. And this idea came from when I was studying in the UK. I would come back to Japan every summer holiday, and whenever I was going back to the UK, I wanted to bring back some of the Japanese products. Luggage space was limited, so I had to think about what can really fit in my suitcase. And because of this experience, I already had this knowledge, and I wanted to share it with you so that you don't have to spend time thinking about what you should buy in Japanese supermarkets. And yeah, most of the ingredients I mentioned today, like the cucumber, tomatoes, chicken thigh, whatever, these are something you can most probably get in your home country. So yeah, if you have a lot of these seasonings or just like food products, you can kind of like mix and match and make Japanese food at home. Yeah, I hope you found this video useful. Do let me know which product interested you the most, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!